Hey there. Have you ever found yourself sitting at home, flipping through the same old TV channels, and wondering if there's something more out there for you? Maybe you've thought, I'd love to try something new, but I'm not sure where to start, or if I even can at my age. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. A lot of us over 60 feel that little tug, that quiet wish to shake things up a bit, but we're not always sure how to take the first step. Well, I've got some good news for you. There's a simple, fun, and downright rewarding way to do just that: joining skill-building classes. Yep, I'm talking about rolling up your sleeves, learning something fresh, and maybe even surprising yourself with what you're capable of. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Classes? That sounds like something for the grandkids, not me. But hear me out, skill building isn't just for the young folks. It's for anyone who wants to keep their mind sharp, their hands busy, and their days a little brighter. Whether it's picking up a paintbrush, figuring out how to bake the perfect loaf of bread, or even learning how to use that smartphone to video chat with the family, these classes are a chance to grow, connect, and have a good time doing it. And the best part? They're designed with you in mind, your pace, your interests, your life. In this video, we're going to walk through why giving skill-building classes a try could be one of the best decisions you make this year. We'll talk about how they can lift your spirits, keep you feeling young, and even help you meet some new friends along the way. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive in together. First off, let's talk about what happens when you learn something new. You know that feeling when you finish a crossword puzzle or finally figure out how to set the clock on the microwave? That little spark of pride? That's your brain saying, hey, I've still got it. Skill-building classes are like that, but on a bigger scale. They give you a chance to stretch your mind in ways you might not have in a while. Maybe you've spent years mastering the art of keeping a household running or raising a family, and trust me, that's no small feat. But now, with a little more time on your hands, why not try something just for you? Imagine sitting down with a group of folks your age, all laughing and learning how to knit a scarf or carve a wooden spoon. It's not about being perfect, it's about the fun of trying. Studies even show that picking up new skills can keep your memory sharp and your focus strong. It's like a workout for your brain, but way more enjoyable than lifting weights. Take my friend Margaret, for example. She's 68, and a couple of years ago, she decided to sign up for a pottery class at her local community center. She'd never touched clay in her life, and she'll tell you herself she was nervous as could be walking in that first day. But by the end of the session, she'd made a little lopsided bowl, and she was hooked. Now, she's got a whole shelf of mugs and vases she's proud to show off, and she's even started giving them as gifts. She told me, I didn't realize how much I missed feeling like I could do something new. It's like I found a piece of myself I didn't know was there. That's what these classes can do. They wake up that part of you that's ready for a challenge, no matter how big or small. And it's not just about the skills themselves, it's about how they make you feel. There's something special about sitting down to learn and realizing you're not too old, not too tired, not too anything to give it a go. It's a boost to your confidence, plain and simple. Maybe you've been telling yourself that your best days are behind you, but I'm here to tell you that's just not true. A class could be as simple as learning to grow herbs on your windowsill or as adventurous as picking up a guitar. Whatever it is, it's a reminder that you've got plenty of life left to live, and plenty of room to grow. Think about it, when was the last time you did something just because it sounded fun? Not because you had to, but because you wanted to? That's the kind of joy these classes can bring back into your days. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the people you'll meet. One of the biggest surprises about skill-building classes is how they open the door to new connections. I know it can feel tough sometimes. Maybe your circle of friends has gotten smaller over the years, or you're just not as mobile as you used to be. But walking into a class, you're suddenly surrounded by folks who are there for the same reason you are: to learn, to laugh, and to try something different. It's not about forcing friendships, it's about sharing a moment. You might swap stories with the person next to you about how you both burned your first batch of cookies, Or you might team up to figure out why your watercolor painting looks more like a mud puddle than a sunset. Those little chats can turn into coffee dates or phone calls, and before you know it, you've got a new buddy to share the journey with. My neighbor Tom is a great example. He's 72, and after his wife passed, he spent a lot of time on his own. One day, he saw a flyer for a woodworking class and thought, why not? He wasn't expecting much, just a way to pass the time. But over a few weeks, he got to know the other folks in the group. They started meeting up outside of class to talk shop, and now they've got a little crew that checks in on each other. He says it's not just about the birdhouses he's making, though he's pretty proud of those, it's about feeling like he's part of something again. That's the magic of these classes, they don't just teach you a skill, they bring you back into the world in a way that feels natural and easy. So, we've talked about how learning something new can light up your mind and how it can introduce you to some wonderful people. But there's more to it than that, there's a bigger picture here about staying active and engaged in your own life. Let's move on to how these classes can fit into your routine and why that matters more than you might think. You know, one of the best things about skill-building classes is how they slide right into your everyday life, almost like they were meant to be there all along. A lot of us over 60 have a routine, maybe it's coffee in the morning, a walk around the block, or catching up on the news. And that's great, routines keep us grounded. But sometimes, they can start to feel a little too familiar, like we're just going through the motions. That's where these classes come in, they shake things up just enough to keep you on your toes, without turning your whole world upside down. You don't need to overhaul your schedule or commit to something huge. Most classes are just an hour or two a week, and plenty of them are nearby, think community centers, libraries, or even online if getting out isn't your thing. It's like adding a splash of color to a painting you've been working on for years. Let's say you've always wanted to try your hand at cooking something fancy, like a homemade pasta dish you'd see on one of those cooking shows. You sign up for a class, and suddenly, Thursday afternoons become your time to roll out dough and swap laughs with the group. It's not a chore, it's something to look forward to. And here's the kicker, it doesn't stop when the class ends. You take that recipe home, tweak it a little, maybe invite your kids or grandkids over to taste test. Before you know it, you're not just filling an hour, you're building moments that ripple out into the rest of your week. That's the beauty of it, these classes don't demand much, but they give back more than you'd expect. They keep you active, not just physically, but mentally and socially too, without feeling like work. Take my cousin Betty, for instance. She's 65 and swore she'd never touch a computer beyond checking her email. But last year, she saw a flyer for a basic tech class at the senior center, nothing fancy, just how to use apps and browse the web safely. She figured she'd give it a shot, mostly so she could keep up with her grandkids' endless stream of photos. Well, fast forward a few months, and she's not only texting like a pro, but she's also joined an online book club and started video chatting with her sister who lives halfway across the country. She told me, "I didn't think I'd care about all this tech stuff, but it's opened up my world in ways I never saw coming." That's what I mean, it's not about becoming an expert overnight, it's about finding something that fits into your life and makes it a little richer. And speaking of fitting in, let's talk about how these classes are made for you, yes, you, exactly as you are right now. I know it's easy to think, oh, I'm too old for this, or, I've got aches and pains, I can't keep up. But here's the thing, the people running these classes get it. They're not expecting you to leap into action like a 20-year-old. If it's a painting class, they'll have chairs and tables set up so you're comfortable. If it's a gardening workshop, they'll show you how to grow things in small pots so you don't have to bend over too much. And if it's online, you can sit in your favorite recliner with a blanket and still join in. The point is, these aren't boot camps, they're gentle invitations to try something new at your own pace. You're not competing with anyone, you're just there to enjoy yourself. I heard about a guy named Frank, who's 70 and has arthritis in his hands. He thought his days of doing anything creative were long gone. But then he found a jewelry making class that used bigger tools and simple techniques, designed for folks like him. He started with a basic bracelet, nothing complicated, just stringing some beads, and now he's making necklaces for his daughters. He said it's not just about the jewelry, it's about feeling useful again, like he's got something to offer. That's what these classes do, they meet you where you are and help you see that your limits aren't as fixed as you might think. They're not about pushing you too hard, they're about lifting you up. Now, let's shift a bit and think about the long game, how these classes can keep you feeling young, not just today, but for years down the road. It's not about turning back the clock, it's about making the time you have as full and lively as possible. We'll dive into that next, because there's something really special about how a little learning today can pay off tomorrow. So, we've been chatting about how skill-building classes can fit into your life like a cozy puzzle piece and how they're designed with you in mind, no matter where you're at physically or mentally. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture, why doing this now can make such a difference in how you feel years from today. You see, there's something almost magical about keeping your curiosity alive. It's not about chasing youth or pretending the years haven't passed, it's about staying in the game, keeping that spark that says, I'm still here, and I've still got things to do. Learning a new skill isn't just a one-and-done activity, it's like planting a seed that grows into a stronger, happier version of yourself over time. Think about it this way, when you pick up something new, say, learning to play a few chords on a ukulele or figuring out how to make a quilt, you're not just passing the time. You're telling your brain and your body, we're not done yet. And they listen. Doctors and researchers keep saying that staying active, mentally and socially, can help you stay sharper and healthier as the years go by. It's not a cure-all, of course, but it's like giving yourself a little edge. You're keeping those mental gears turning, and that can make a real difference in how you tackle everything else, from remembering where you parked the car to planning a get-together with friends. It's not about being perfect, it's about keeping the rust off, if you know what I mean. I met a woman named Doris at a craft fair not too long ago, she's 78, and she had this table full of little crocheted animals she'd made. I got to talking with her, and she said she started crocheting about 5 years back after her husband passed. She'd signed up for a class just to get out of the house, but it turned into so much more. She told me, it's not just about the yarn, it's about having a reason to get up and do something every day. My hands might be slower now, but my mind feels quicker than it has in years. And you could see it in her eyes, she wasn't just proud of those cute little bunnies, she was proud of herself. That's what these classes can do, they give you a purpose, a project, a little piece of joy that sticks with you long after the last session ends. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be anything grand or complicated. Maybe you're not up for crocheting a zoo's worth of animals, and that's fine. It could be as simple as learning to take better photos with your phone or trying out a chair yoga class that teaches you a few stretches. The point is, it's yours. It's something you can hold on to, something that keeps you connected to the world around you. And over time, that connection builds up. You start noticing how much more you're laughing, how you're sharing stories about your latest project with the family, how you're not just sitting back but leaning into life a little more. It's a quiet kind of strength, and it grows without you even realizing it. Now, as we wrap this up, I want you to picture yourself a few months from now. You've given a class a try, maybe it's painting, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's something you haven't even thought of yet. You've got a new skill under your belt, a couple of new friends to chat with, and a spring in your step that wasn't there before. That's not a far-off dream, that's something you can start today. All it takes is saying yes to that first step. Find a class that sounds fun, whether it's down the street or online, and give it a whirl. You don't have to be good at it right away, you just have to show up. And trust me, you'll be amazed at what happens next. So, here's my little nudge to you, think about what you've always wanted to try, even if it's just a whisper of an idea. Check out what's available near you. Community centers, libraries, even YouTube channels have great options these days. And when you take that leap, come back and tell me about it in the comments, I'd love to hear how it goes. If you've enjoyed this chat, Give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so we can keep exploring ways to make every day a little brighter together. Because here's the truth, you've got so much ahead of you, and these classes are just one way to grab it with both hands. Here's to living your best life, at any age. Cheers to that.